So congratulations, Richard Brown, on your retirement. I can't tell you how much you've meant to this campus, what you have done, how you've helped transform it from public safety to budget to physical facilities. The red brick that ties together our campus from a very modern new library, which is a showpiece for our campus, to Fletcher Hall, which is a renovated older building. They fit together and are part of a campus infrastructure that looks something in common with the personality of UTC. Thank you so much for all you've done. Personally, every tough decision I've made, you've been there right beside me. Some of them we've decided, what would we want someone to do if it were our kids involved or our spouse, so that we could make the right decision for people, which sometimes aligns with policy and sometimes not. But I've appreciated your common sense and your care for people, putting students first, and all that you've done in an incredible career. I hope you're proud, because we are so proud of you and what you've accomplished. Thank you, Richard.
The first time I met Dr. Brown was likely when I was a student. And I'm hesitating on the question because it feels like he's always been a staple in my life. He's always been someone that's been a mentor for me, someone that I've trusted and gone to and discussed everything from my professional growth. When I thought about doing a doctorate program, he was one of the first individuals that I talked with to get some advice about what to do and where and how and which program. In my personal life around how to manage, being married and a family, he's just kind of always been there. And so it must have been when I was a student, but it's been a long relationship, many years of a relationship, and a mentoring sort of relationship for me. He is someone that I very much seek his opinion and respect his opinion as it relates to how to move forward personally and professionally. It is always interesting because many of the memories for me is how cool, calm, and collected he always seems to be. That he is always one of the smoothest, coolest dressers that you will ever find. You hardly ever see him get too anxious about anything. He is very even keel and will, in many ways respond to you in a very reflective way. And so for me, it is, a desire to sort of emulate that performance, that behavior, that leadership style in my own way, to emulate and pay deference to who I think is a great leader. I am just so incredibly excited that, to be a part of this honor for someone that I consider to be a friend, a mentor, somebody that I consider to be a big brother, and someone that I have known many years. Of course, because he is leaving UTC does not mean that our relationship will change in any way. I'll still be very much in contact with him and will take every opportunity to sort of seek his advice as I get into interesting predicaments as it relates to higher education. He is somebody who has, in many ways, done it all, seen it all, experienced many, many things. And so I will continue to look to him for advice and for counsel to help me to become a better professional.
I first met Richard about 15 years ago while I was a student at UTC. My first impression of him was, who is this very articulate guy that is always the best dressed in the room with a matching pocket square and tie to go along with it? And I quickly learned after knowing him that not only is he best dressed now, but he's been best dressed since the late 80s when he was named the best dressed Chattanoogan at the time. Since then, we have had a great friendship. I began working in his division soon thereafter, and at that time, he not only became a great mentor to me, but a true friend and ultimately a great encourager, someone that I have depended on for countless things through the years, and I think someone that I developed an exceptional working relationship with and have truly enjoyed every single minute of it. Richard has had an exceptional 37-year career at UTC. He has touched nearly every aspect of the campus in some way. During his 20-year tenure as Chief Business Officer, his impact was significant. To give you some statistics, in the capital program alone, the campus has spent during that time over $500 million. He has done everything from ensure the utilities on campus are all underground, to major capital outlay projects, to being sure that the campus was able to successfully expand across Macaulay Avenue. The annual budget for UTC during that time grew from $70 million to over $200 million. The number of regular employees grew from 575 to over 1,300. He has done everything from figure out how to tame Shantak the orangutan, to organize 2 U.S. presidential visits, to so much more on this campus. Despite all of these great things, I really believe his greatest quality is that he truly cares about people and always puts students first. His legacy is immense and will be felt for generations of students to come. Richard, I want to thank you for the incredible impact you have had on the campus, your tremendous friendship to me, and I'm specifically not going to wish you a happy retirement because I expect you to always be a phone call away.
First of all, when Richard took over as my boss, as the Vice Chancellor for Business and Finance, we did hard work. I mean, our job was to maintain the physical aspect of the university, to maintain the finance end of the university, employees, dealing with students as far as all of the services to students except for direct teaching. And Richard was very determined to make sure that we had a beautiful campus that flowed well. And he did that. I mean, it's amazing to me, the transformation of the looks of the campus. And then when it came down to the finance side of it, Richard was not really a finance person. That was not his wheelhouse. So he gave me lots of autonomy to do my job, but he was also a quick learner. And he helped tremendously with the budget aspect of the university and transforming that budget to the faculty and the students. He was always concerned that everybody felt like they were in the loop of things. And prior to that, the university was pretty much in the dark about what was going on financially. So those are some major changes that I saw while Richard was there and working with me. You know, Richard's a classical overachiever. You couldn't outwork Richard. I mean, Richard is one of the hardest working people that I have ever worked with. And I'm not sure that people really realized how hard he worked. My office was upstairs from his. So I saw when he came in and I saw when he left, and he worked long hours and he was always prepared. He just did what he had to do to be the best at what he did. And he worked really hard to be the very best. And I appreciated that about Richard. And he also wanted his staff to be the very best. We had lots of consultants that came in. We did lots of training sessions. He made sure that we had the tools to do our job and to do it better. And I appreciated that about Richard.
Richard, congratulations on your retirement. The place is definitely not going to be the same without you being here. In some ways, when I think about UTC, I think about you synonymously, like you are, in my mind, the institution. And of all the people that I've known here at UTC, your level of commitment was unsurpassed. Your commitment to the university, your commitment to the city of Chattanooga, and we're certainly going to miss you. Personally, I appreciate your friendship over the years. I appreciated your advisement over the years, and really your help in navigating some less than sometimes difficult situations. I think back to the naming gift with Gary and Kathleen Rollins, and how you helped us navigate a lot of the bureaucratic roadblocks and red tape to get the building ready, get things done on time, and you were a magician at being able to do that. And I think it's because of your personal relationships that you built over the years with everybody here at UTC and with the system and the people in Chattanooga. So thank you so much for everything you've done for the institution. I do want to say in closing, and you probably don't remember this, but I joke that you're I've known you longer than any other person at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. And the reason, and even although I've only been here 10 years as dean, the reason I say that is back in the late 70s when you were on the police force, we had several less than ideal circumstance run-ins from the Kappa Sigma fraternity house. But I appreciate your graciousness and kindness there as well, because you always steered us in the right direction. And you could have handled some of those situations very differently. So thank you. You're a gentleman. You're a great asset to this institution. Your impact and your legacy will forever be felt on this campus. And congratulations.
I met Richard Brown before he was vice chancellor at one of the many receptions that were common at the university more than 20 years ago. And I've known him ever since. And have worked closely with him on a number of projects. The symposium either would not exist or would be in New Orleans if it were not for Richard Brown. Richard Brown's support and the support of each of the chancellors along the way has been absolutely instrumental to the existence of the symposium. And more than that, he loves the symposium. He believes in the symposium, as we do. And he did everything that he was doing to benefit the university. He once told me that he had to fill out forms every year to try to get extra money for the university and all sorts of things. And that the symposium, he was able to put the symposium down in 5 different places on those forms in support as a sign of good things that the university was doing. My best memories are unrelated to the symposium. Richard and I developed a friendship, and Richard always wants to know and always wanted to know what was going on campus and how he could make UTC better. In addition, I was able to bring ideas to him. For example, I was asked to host the annual meeting of the Society of Environmental Journalists. It's a big national organization. We had hosted it in the 90s. And now it was 20 years later, and I was being asked to host it again. Who do I go to figure out how to raise the $160,000 that it would cost for Chattanooga to host this conference? Richard instructed me to email directly to Roger Brown. From then on, we were able to put together the Chattanooga committee that raised the money to host this convention of the Society of Environmental Journalists. Through the years, I have had this relationship. He had a much greater relationship with each of the chancellors. He was always the go-to guy for each of the chancellors in terms of, can we get this done? Can we do this? Is there enough resources for this? And somehow, Richard always was able to get us through each of the very tricky moments that have existed financially under his watch. He is the best money man that I have seen in my experience with the university. As much as I respect the people who are coming up now to take over, I've worked with also directly with Richard. Richard had that personality, that ability to make you confident that we could really get things done and that he was listening. And when Richard said he would take a message up the chain, he absolutely always did it. The university will miss Richard very much. My friendship with Richard extends well beyond this university. And so as fellow Chattanoogians, we will both continue to do our best to make Chattanooga everybody's dream as to where to live. Richard, let's keep our regular meetings. We can do it now by telephone, and let's keep talking. I'm very interested to see what you do next. I cannot imagine you will sit home on your laurels. I'm waiting to hear the announcement of what organization has roped you in as a leader, and anything I can do to support you in that regard, I'll be delighted to do. You are a good friend, and our friendship continues.
It has been a pleasure knowing Richard Brown, and there are three things I want to share that you may not know. Number one, it was how we met. We met when I was a reporter at News Channel 9 in 1997, and I was going to do an interview with Richard. Well, his administrative assistant said he wants the questions, and I said, no, we don't do that. I'll give him the topic, but not the questions. Then she calls back and says he's not going to do it unless you provide him with the questions. Fine. We get there to his office, and he made us wait and wait and wait. And when he finally came out of his door, I saw this black man who was dressed to the nines, and I thought to myself, we must have made it. There are two other things that are interesting. Number one, Richard has been my mentor since 2004. So we've been at this for a long time. And he was the one that really encouraged me to go to doctoral school. And I'll tell you, that first semester at doctoral school, statistics was so hard for me. And so one day I came to campus, I walked over to his office, and I told him, I'm dropping out of doctoral school because I don't understand statistics. And this was a very bad idea. And he said, well, let's come in my office and let's talk this through. What? Why do we need to talk anything through? I just told you, I am going to drop out of doctoral school. And he said, well, let's talk about this. So I go in his office, and of course he suggests maybe getting a tutor. And Richard is such the encourager that when you leave his office, you actually think, yeah, I can do that. Which is what happened to me. I thought, yeah, I can do that, until I got back to my office, and it was, no, I can't do that. But I did get a tutor, and it was my father who actually tutored me through statistics. Also, while in doctoral school, you have to take comprehensive exams. And with the exams, you have no idea what the question will be. So you kind of have to study for everything and try to anticipate what it may be. So I came to campus, I was going to study in my office, and I parked my car on the side of Frisk where there were 2 parking meters. And all of a sudden, my car rams into the building, and the bricks fall. And if Michelle Rigler from the DRC had been in her office, she would have been pinned underneath my car. So I called Richard, and I said, Richard, I've been in an accident. You have? Yes, a car accident. Oh, are you okay? Yes, but the building is not. And he said, what do you mean the building is not okay? My car went into the building, and there's a big hole. And he said, are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. And so he sent someone over, I don't remember who it was, that took pictures of it. And of course, the next day, they had a little tarp over it. I tried to think that maybe my car helped us to move out of Frisk. Maybe not. We have been at this for 17 years, and Richard is more than my professional mentor. He is my personal mentor as well. I literally would not be here if it hadn't been for him. So I will always be most grateful. I joke with him. I know he has other mentees, but as I tell him, I know I'm your favorite. Yeah. And while technically he is retiring, what that says to me is that maybe instead of calling him once every 2 to 3 weeks, I can call him every single day. Doesn't that sound great, Richard? Yeah. When I was asked to make a statement, I thought about our 17 years, and I thought about Richard, and then I thought maybe I should use his name to make acronyms. Wouldn't that be a great idea? Of course it is. So the R is for resourceful, the I is for inspiring, the C is for charismatic, the H is for humble, the A is for analytical, the R is for resilient, and the D is for dynamic. And then for his last name, the B is for bold, the R is for respectful, the O is for optimistic, the W is for wise, and the N is for nurturing. Enjoy your retirement. Just be sure and answer my phone whenever I call. Promise?